So I was recently the recipient of an interesting marketing tactic. All right. So there was an envelope from a research company, I believe. They wanted me to take some kind of survey, and in the envelope had a circular window in the back of it. And inside this window, you could see that there was like a dollar bill or two, like some kind of cash was in there. And so I opened it up, and it was funny. As I opened it up, I was almost dreading that I would feel an inclination or a responsibility or a something to do what they asked of me to do, because the money looked pretty legit. I was pretty sure it was real money in there. So I opened it up. Sure enough, $2. No, I mean it could be counterfeit, but it looked like totally legit. Kind of kind of old actually. $2. So two $1 bills, and they wanted me to take a survey, and then in exchange for doing the survey, I guess I was going to get like $5 or something. And I thought it was quite an interesting technique. Um, Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people like me who just essentially pocketed the $2 and said, "That's that. I'm not doing anything else." But when you think about marketing costs, right? They could spend that $2 on Facebook trying to recruit people to do their survey. Um, Apparently, they believed that the direct mail was more effective. But beyond just the idea of straight up paying people to do what you want them to do, which is kind of a fun, kind of a fun strategy. Um, it's kind of interesting how its effect on me or on a person. So I'm going to kind of generalize from my experience. Like other personalities might be affected way differently, but like I said, at first it was kind of like, oh boy, now I might feel like I should help them out. Um, Secondly, when they on their offer for the $5, if I did fill out their survey, I didn't know how extensive the survey would be, but I was fairly confident I would get the $5 because they'd already given me $2. I figured they'd probably give me the five. Now maybe it was just $5 total, so maybe it was like $3 more. I don't know what it was, but I was fairly confident they would come through on their promise to pay me for taking the survey because they'd already given me money. Like they already demonstrated to me that they made the first move, if you will, right? So it was up to me whether I would reciprocate or not. But there was a certain degree of trust that they built with me just by giving me money. And so it's an interesting marketing tactic. Now, the exact tactic, I don't know how effective it is, but it does. It was kind of refreshing. So compared to like marketing, just like a letter that tries to sort of bamboozle, like kind of like guilt you into, how shall we say, some marketing is rather like almost kind of not coercive is not maybe quite the right word, but almost like kind of manipulative maybe, and you kind of feel like they're trying to twist your arm into doing something. Now, handing you money, sure, it's also an effort to perhaps, if you will, twist your arm, but it doesn't feel, in some ways it feels more straight up. It's like, look, we want you to do this thing, here's some money, like, would you just please do it? It's kind of cool. um, I think the idea of going first has broader implications in life. Like I think there's many times, especially in business, where there's financial transactions, it's very tempting to be kind of in the mode of, well, you do something for me once, and then I'll see if I want to do something for you. Or, like as someone in business, I can have the mindset of, well, first you pay me once, and then we'll, like first you pay me, and then we'll see how helpful I want to be. That's one approach, right? Um, Whereas another approach is first, let me demonstrate that you can trust me by helping you. So I'm going to help you without asking anything from you in return. Now, or I'm going to only ask for something non-monetary in return. So it could be like, you know, I just ask that you spread the word if this helps you, or I just need your full attention while I give you this information, or something like that. So that can be a fair and a reasonable request, is that they give something in exchange, but maybe not money. And I think it's totally fine. It's nothing unethical or immoral about asking someone to pay you before you help them. Most companies probably operate that way. But what's interesting, is when you kind of flip the script, right? You're like, I want to help you first, and then if you want to pay me, awesome. And that's very common. The helping you first is actually, I'd say, very common in the information space. So the information space is an area in which developing trust is such a big part of it, and not that I'm some real guru on information spaces, on information product marketing, but I've been the recipient of quite a bit of it, right? And so building that trust, letting someone, like, providing a free 3 to 5 day challenge for people to go through, spend that time with them, and provide that value, and then from there, having people who will from there, people can raise their hand and say, yeah, I want to pay you more to do, or I want to pay you, or I'll pay you more to do something. Now, some of those challenges are not free challenges, and maybe most of them are too. Maybe they have a little bit of a cost to them. So in that case, you could say, well, they're not really providing value first. But in many cases, even before you got to the challenge, they've probably provided value. It's probably been YouTube videos. It's probably been, maybe it's been some other gems in email marketing, or maybe the book that you read, or whatever it is that got you interested in taking the challenge, right? So anyway, the value first model is interesting how common it is in some areas, and I think where the opportunity might really lay is in industries that don't normally go first, right? So in direct mail, they don't normally just straight up give you money. So that caught my attention. Now, giving you some stamp, or giving you some like return address labels in hopes of somehow guilting you into supporting them, or providing that feeling of reciprocity, that's relatively common. But I don't know, I just kind of thought this was genius. Like, rather than giving me some kind of stickers that I may or may not want, just straight up give me cash and see what I do with it. So that was pretty sweet, very attention grabbing. And consider what you might be able to do for your customers, for them, before they work with you. Being generous is a business strategy, and a life strategy too. But it is possible to be generous and also to be prosperous.